So it's more about getting to financial independence than getting to early retirement. Hello everyone, this is Ronan Blue, just taking my daily walk here. And today's topic is retiring early such a big deal? So retiring early has gained a lot of steam recently. And it all started with a couple of guys who worked in a corporation who decided to give it a try. So they adopted certain philosophies such as minimalism. Basically the basics of how FIRE works, financially independent, retire early, is that whatever surplus that you have at the end of the month after paying all your expenses, any excess would go into investing. So they would basically invest into different assets such as index funds or dividends or mutual funds or ETFs or bonds. But you'll find that a lot of financial advisors would advise you to invest into the 401k or the Roth IRA. The only advantage I would say for the 401k would be the company matching 401k, where companies or corporations would add a certain percentage on top of your contributions. So from that perspective, it's very well worth it because it's basically free money that you're receiving from a corporation that you work for. So these guys who chose the path of financial independence to retire early had guts enough to apply a theory, and they actually made it a reality. And today a lot of people are following that path, me being one of them, and could tell you honestly that it is something that really does work. So I follow the philosophy of minimalism, and whatever excess funds that I do have at the end of the month, I invest into religiously. So I have grown quite a large nest egg over the years that has brought me to financial independence. So you basically want to live a frugal lifestyle, leading you to becoming a minimalist, and just accepting that you don't need all of that materialism in your lifestyle. You also want to avoid debt, and that's definitely something you want to focus on. Debt could be your mortgage. A lot of people say that having a mortgage is called good debt, but my thinking is any debt is debt. So good debt or bad debt, you have to get rid of it. So that's why we decided to pay off our mortgage. And I think that's what jump-started our journey towards financial independence. So once you do pay off your mortgage, it's actually almost impossible for you to go back into debt again. But then, living this lifestyle, you have to be also very careful in not returning back into debt. And budgeting was definitely something that was on top of our list as well. Even after achieving financial independence, we still have a budget because that's essentially what brought us to financial independence and will continue to keep us in financial independence as well. But the FIRE movement has been gaining a lot of media attention nowadays, and there's a lot of different definitions for the word retirement. The traditional meaning is you reach the age of 65 and you get Social Security and you live off your savings. But retiring early, voluntarily anyways, hasn't really been talked about in the past. You do hear people who do retire forcibly only because they lost their job, and because of a depressed economy, they're no longer able to find an ideal job. Some of them choose to work part-time as an example. But nowadays you hear people taking on the FIRE movement, financially independent, retire early, and with the belief that a lot of people, the gurus right now, are living those lives, and that theory has now become practice, and it is a reality. A lot of people with the right mindset could achieve financial independence and retire early. Although the concept of FIRE actually best suits those with higher incomes, just because they're able to reach financial independence much sooner than those who have less an income. But I'm not saying that it is an impossibility for people with lower income to reach financial independence. It just takes a lot more discipline to do so, and maybe a little bit more time. So it's actually said that there's around 2,000 recorded personal finance gurus out there. And that's a lot of evidence to show that this theory does actually work in practice. Having to live that frugal lifestyle and investing any of that surplus into growing your wealth definitely does work. So it's more about getting to financial independence than getting to early retirement. Now, once you achieve financial independence, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're fully retired. It means that you're semi-retired. So it's actually allowing you to have enough time to find what your passions would be and to maybe make some income from the things that you're passionate for. So basically what needs to be done is you want to grow enough in your nest egg so your employment income could be replaced. So you want to have equal to or even more income coming in on a monthly basis. So as you have that surplus at the end of the month, all you need to do is reinvest it. And that trend of growing your net worth grows exponentially month after month and year after year, probably getting you to the age of 65 when you start getting your Social Security, if it still exists, that is. But there are those who do reach financial independence and they choose to continue to work for a lot of different reasons. Probably a rare occasion because the majority of people actually don't really like the occupations that they work for currently. But basically the point is that once you do reach financial independence, it gives you the option of working. So maybe you want to take mini vacations for a while and just to have that satisfaction, a short-term satisfaction of reaching or doing your passions. And if you feel like working again, you just go back and do that 9-to-5 job again. So essentially that's what our goal was, to reach financial independence so work becomes an option. And that's why we're very much interested in going overseas. We figure we only live once, and that's why we want to go overseas and experience a lot of different cultures. But of course there are those who disagree with the FIRE movement just because of its extreme. A lot of people don't agree with having to save 50% of your income on a monthly basis, and also having to live on a $250 food budget a month. It's actually too extreme for them. So that's why a lot of people don't choose this philosophy. And those individuals are the ones who believe that earning more would be a better solution. But nowadays, with the depressed economy, although it's mentioned that our economy is getting better, but so says the media. But there are a lot of individuals who are struggling and getting by, and with their stagnant wages and less job opportunities out there. I think the FIRE movement would be more of a realistic approach to becoming financially independent. Everyone actually has different lifestyles as well. Some people have children and some people do not. Couples who are dinks, dual income, no kids, have the financial means to be able to probably reach financial independence faster than those who have children. So for FIRE to be successful, what you do is you spend less than you make, you save and you invest, and live a minimalist lifestyle. So those 4 core concepts would be what you need to follow. So what you also want to follow is something that's called the 4% rule. So essentially what you want to do is you want to save enough to the point of 25 times your annual expenses. So you figure out what your monthly expenses would be and multiply that by 12, and once you have that lump sum, you want to multiply that by 25. And once you have that lump sum, then you calculate out 4% of that. So that 4% is what you could potentially live on a monthly basis for all of your daily expenses. So in order for this to work, you just have to basically be open-minded and do your own research, and you can eventually probably find a blogger that you really like and follow their philosophies. And once you do that, you'll see a lot of personal growth in your finances. you also want to try to be less judgmental as well, and try and see a lifestyle where you do have less consumerism, and see how that would benefit you in the longer term. But you basically want to allow the opinions that differ from yours as well. That's how a person grows, by hearing other people's opinions. The game that we play today between people, especially when it comes to competition, is a terrible world to be in, and that's essentially what our society is today. We always like to outcompete each other in some way or another. Everyone has their own separate concept of what financial independence and retiring early is about, but everyone could agree on one thing, in that once you do achieve that status, then you have the freedom to follow your own passions. So whether it be some people who want to get an RV and travel all around North America if they wanted to, or maybe parents who want to spend more time with their kids, as an example, or maybe those who want to travel abroad to different countries to gain those experiences. There's a number of different reasons. But you have that freedom once you do reach that status. So before making that judgment to whether financially independent and retiring early would be something you want to follow, just think about the job that you currently work at and whether or not it's something that you want to work at for the rest of your life. And to also think that you don't live forever, and maybe if given the opportunity of having a lot of time hitting this status, what would you do in your life? What kind of passions would you follow? Well, I think I have my vlog here today. Tell me what you think of the FIRE movement in the comment section below. If you like this vlog, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell for more of my coming content here. Thank you for watching my vlog. I hope you have a great day, and see you soon.